now really let's play with the future a little bit. It's a fact that Bernie Sanders has millions of followers and donators, and it's a fact that he's had a real profound political impact on this election cycle. He has energized a lot of folks. If the Republicans come up with a third person, and the conventional wisdom is that it's going to walk Hillary Clinton right into the White House, why does it have to be Hillary Clinton? Why can't there be 4 candidates? I mean, and I'm going to have Jeff Weaver on TV tonight, and I'm going to ask him straight up, you know, if there's another candidate on the right that challenges Trump and there's another option, would Bernie Sanders consider being a 4th candidate? I mean, John, if you look at the states that Hillary Clinton has won, the conservatives are going to win those states, a lot of them in the South. You look at the states that the next president's going to have to win, Pennsylvania, which Hillary did win, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Colorado, Nebraska, Oklahoma, possibly Oregon, possibly California. I mean, these are states that there's no question that the Democrats are going to have to win, I think, in Missouri to win the general election. What would America look like if there were 4 candidates? If there was a division over on the right and a division over on the left, so to speak? I mean, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Well, you're opening up a conversation that this country's had a few times in history. Back in the early 1970s, when you saw George Wallace going out on the right, or going out with a segregationist Democratic message, Nixon, the traditional Democratic Party. There was a lot of conversation about 40 years ago about that. And interestingly enough, that was in another very volatile time. And so in these volatile moments, I think you do hear these conversations. We had it, in the late 1940s in the 48 election where you had Henry Wallace, Strom Thurmond, Harry Truman, and Tom Dewey. The one caution I would offer you on that scenario, and I'll be very blunt with you, is do not underestimate the pragmatism and the seriousness of Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders, to my mind, is somebody who will have as his very high priority making sure that no chances are taken with putting a right-winger into the White House.
So he would think that you think that he might concede and not,
I just think he would look at that. I don't think one should assume that Bernie Sanders is going to say, "Oh, there's an opportunity. I'm going to take the risk."
Yeah.
I think he would be, in my opinion, from my interviews with him over the years, I think he would be very, very cautious about taking any step that might open the way for the White House to be lost to a right winger.
I can see that easily. I think you make a great point because Bernie has been about country before himself.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's. I just think, my sense of Bernie Sanders is that he has had a lot of issues that are really passionate issues for him, the one he's focused on and worked on for a long time. But when you get into that immediate moment that you got to make a choice here, he has often made very pragmatic choices about trying to stop right-wingers. And so I do think that that's got to be put into the mix on anything like that. And frankly, I think it makes it unlikely that would happen. And yet, it is, when you talk about so volatile a moment as this, and especially if there is a right-wing candidacy that jumps up, you might see conversations in that regard. But I really want to suggest also, Ed, keep in your mix. I am fascinated by what Gary Johnson, this libertarian, is doing. Remember, he's a hybrid.
Yeah, but, Bernie's got far more support than him.
No, it's not to dismiss that, Ed, but what I'm saying is we were talking practically about who makes appeals. You look at some of Gary Johnson's recent interviews, he's very critical of Trump. He also has said very nice things about Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
So he's trying to grab all over the place. And there was a Monmouth poll in late March that had Gary Johnson at 11%.
John Nichols, always great to visit. Thank you, my friend. We'll do it again.
It's a great pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
All right. Washington correspondent of The Nation, John Nichols. Communication Workers of America, Alliance for American Manufacturing, BioGreen Clean, and the iSave team bring you this production. We're right back after this.